really be spreading the message of this is I think that people assume when they do have children and I adopt a child, I'm not going to love that child as much as my biological children. And that is, for us in our family, that's like the furthest from the truth. Because, I don't know, there's just this, you know, and I thought that myself. I thought, okay, I'm going to adopt a child. We've already got 3 biological children. And I'll love this child, but I'm going to love the child probably 85 or 90% of the way I do my real children, you know? And that adopted child becomes even more than a real child. One of my favorite stories to share, and I'll try to keep it short, but I was sharing with my mentor. I remember we were in Texas. We were in Houston doing a show, and we had just adopted our first adoption child, my son. And so he's our 4th child altogether. And my mentor called me and said, how are things going? This is about 6 months after we had him. And I said, I cannot explain this love that I have for him. There's something it's not that I love him more, it's just that there's this something different in a good way. And you know, the story I've just shared, it goes on too long, but it's a great story, and he just encouraged me that I'm so excited for you guys, man. I know you've been waiting a long time, and I guess the one thing that I will say in all this rambling is that 6 years that have gone by, or whatever the amount of time will be forgotten about. You're going through this pain and this hard time. It's kind of this, almost with someone, you know, going through labor. You're going through an extended labor, but I promise you, at the end of that time, all of that, just like a lady who's going through labor at the time, there's so much pain and so much that you're going through, it's forgotten about when you have that child. So, sorry for rambling to get to that.
You know, I think that, the only thing I was just thinking is a lot like, there's like these defining events in our lives, but it's kind of like you really build up for your wedding day, but then it's kind of like, then comes, you know, marriage after, which is really, you know, and so that's really what it's about, is the marriage. I think very similar with adoption, there's so much built up to, you know, for that sort of airport moment of like, okay, we're bringing our child home, and then it's kind of like, there's that next day where, like when you're married, you go, who are you? I haven't seen you looking like this before. So I think just a little caution with, I mean, you build it up, but just prepare so it's like, it's not all airport moments. I mean, just as with any parent can attest to, it's like you give birth to a child, and it's just like, oh, and the angels were singing, and, you know, it's so great. And then, you know, fast forward 13 years, and I'm sure they can tell us some stories what that's been up to. So I think, you know, we found that it's been amazing. There's definitely been some challenges. So what I would encourage you, all I have to say is, I know my wife's gotten a lot of encouragement from connecting with other adoptive moms, finding a network of those. There's like 10 million blogs out there that I know my wife is constantly reading and finding encouragement with those. And find someone where you'll find a lot of times with adoption, you kind of feel like you have to do a lot of PR for it still, where there's people kind of, so you adopted, so, you know, you kind of like have to explain it. But it's great to have, for both of you guys, just a great friend that's been there that you can confide in, and that you can be honest, you know, that you don't feel like you're having to market adopting to, that you can just share from the heart with, and that can walk the journey with you.
Thank you. Fantastic. One quick question.